This is Strathallan's Lament, lyric by Robert Burns, music by Allan Masterton. It's written from the point of view of a young man hiding in a cave. This James Drummond was the son of Viscount Strathallan, who was killed at the Battle of Culloden, April 16th, 1746, in this disastrous defeat for the Jacobite cause. Thickest darkness surround my dwelling, howling tempests o'er me rave, sweeping torrents, turbid swelling, roaring by my lonely cave. Crystal streamlets gently flowing, busy haunts of base mankind, western breezes softly blowing, suit not my distracted mind. Farewell, fleeting, fickle treasure, between misfortune and folly shared. Farewell, peace, and farewell, pleasure. Farewell, flattering man's regard. Ruin's wheel has driven o'er me, nor dare a hope my fate attend. The wide world is all before me, but a world without a friend. That text that I sang is from an early draft of the song in the Newberry Library here in Chicago. The familiar, usually published text is from the Scots Musical Museum, where it was first published. And as Burns often did, particularly with his political pieces, he reworked it. And this is a very good example of flowers losing their bloom on the way to the marketplace, as Joseph Conrad wrote. I'm going to read you the second stanza of the version published in Scots Musical Museum. In the cause of right engaged, wrongs injurious to redress, honor's war we strongly waged, but the heavens denied success. Ruin's wheel has driven o'er us, not a hope that dare attend. The wide world is all before us, but a world without a friend. Us would have to include friends, doesn't it? The term us. Really, really poor rewrite of farewell, fleeting, fickle treasure, between misfortune and folly shared. Farewell, peace, and farewell, pleasure. Farewell, flattering man's regard. Ruin's wheel has driven o'er me, nor dare a hope my fate attend. The wide world is all before me, but a world without a friend. And the first stanza in Scots Musical Museum was published, turbid torrents, wintry swelling, roaring by my lonely cave. Whereas the early draft has sweeping torrents, turbid swelling, roaring by my lonely cave. Turbid means murky, cloudy. So, yep. This text, this early draft, was collated by Henley and Henderson in 1897. They'd seen this early draft. They changed one of the words, misfortune, to mishap, and they missed other details. I was able to get a scan from the Newberry Library. So I'm working on a book. It'll be called Songs of Burns, and it'll have this corrected text in there. That's it. I'm putting up as many songs of Burns as I can. That's not it. I have one more thing to tell you. And that is in the score to the Scots Musical Museum, there are 4 instances of musical cluster of a dotted eighth into 2 32nd notes. For the opening, it's thickest night surround my dwelling. Their musical editor, Stephen Clarke, every time he saw, with rare exceptions, every time he saw the cluster of 16th notes into an eighth, he would switch them either into an eighth into 2 16ths or a dotted eighth into 2 32nds or 2 eighth notes. He simply had an aversion to this shape, which is far more common in the fiddle literature than is a dotted eighth into 32nds. So I've taken the liberty in the song into simply changing those 4 instances of a dotted eighth into 32nds to the likely original ba-da-da. So that's it. And as soon as I did that, the song flowed better and was easier to sing. I'm trying to get the I'm trying to see there's archives in Scotland, and it's a rare shot, but I'm trying to see if they have Masterton's papers, estate papers, and possibly any of his scores, because those were not the only bad changes to tunes made by Stephen Clarke, for whom I have a very low regard. I'm essentially trying to cancel him in my book, which will be called Songs of Burns. And before I finish making the book, I'm going to tape a couple of hundred of the songs, just because it's the best way to review them and think about them. And these will be up here for ear musicians to learn from, people who don't actually read notes. So thank you very much. I hope you love that song as much as I do. It's just quite magnificent. Be well. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel.